Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Cecilia, and I am a Senior Program Officer with the Resolve project led by Pathfinder International. I'll be taking us through an overview of the Resolve project and the solution set that we developed in Burkina Faso, specifically La Chance, an interactive game designed to enable girls to take control of their reproductive futures. So to get us started, I'll share an overview of the project. Resolve was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and was active from 2016 until May of this year. The project was implemented by a consortium of partners that's noted here on the slide, and it focused on using consumer insights, behavioral design, public health expertise, and cycles of learning and adaptation to address unmet needs for family planning in 3 countries: Bangladesh, Burkina Faso, and Ethiopia. So at the heart of our project is that one size doesn't fit all, and that women and girls deserve products and services that are designed for them. Resolve designed data-informed solutions specific to the needs of its target population in each country. In this session, I will be talking about our interactive solution set in Burkina Faso, which addresses the barriers girls face to making and acting on pregnancy and contraceptive uptake decisions. So why did we choose to work in Burkina Faso, and why was our target population unmarried schoolgirls? Half of the population of Burkina Faso is under the age of 15, and many young people will become sexually active and at risk for unintended pregnancy during their adolescence. The adolescent fertility rate is high, and over 50% of pregnancies among adolescents are unintended. So as a project, we wanted to understand what prevented unmarried adolescent girls from using contraceptives or from accessing family planning services. We found that barriers such as fear of side effects of contraceptives, myths and misconceptions about contraceptives or about infertility, and stigma around accessing family planning services as a young person influence girls' decisions at various points. So based on these insights, we developed an interactive, highly visual board game and set of solutions to enable girls to take control of their reproductive choices and futures. So I'd love to share the game board with you and for you to have a chance to play the game itself, but I'll describe it for you here. We worked with a talented graphic designer and local artisans to create a game which would be visually engaging for and reflective of the lives of the girls who would play the game. The game was played by 2 teams of 3 girls each at school during breaks, and it was led by a local trained facilitator. The girls would compete to reach the end of the game board first by exploring different scenarios, making decisions and experiencing the consequences of those decisions, answering sexual and reproductive health trivia questions, and responding to prompts that ask them to confront myths or to give advice to their friends. The objectives of the game were to adjust misperceptions of pregnancy risk and misconceptions about fertility and contraceptives, to increase girls' comfort level with speaking about and asking questions about difficult topics, and also to encourage girls to visit a health facility, either to access services or to ask more questions that maybe weren't covered during the facilitated game. So each of these objectives were targeted at the barriers to accessing services that I discussed previously. At the end of the game, facilitators gave each girl 3 copies of the health facility passport you see here, 1 for her and 2 for her to give to friends or family members. The passport was designed to visually match the board game, and it served as a reminder to go to the health facility for services or information. And once she was there at a participating health facility, a girl would see posters that matched the passports. And these were advertising services for adolescent girls and that weren't necessarily, related to contraceptives, things like puberty or menstruation. Advertising these range of services provided a clear justification for why unmarried school-age girls might be attending the facility, which helped to address concerns about stigma. A girl she would present her passport, and the staff would recognize the passport and be able to provide her with discreet, youth-friendly services. Providers who were trained in youth-friendly service provision would also be wearing a recognizable name badge that matched the rest of the solution set. So we implemented this intervention in 16 secondary schools across Ouagadougou and Bobo-Dioulasso. We reached over 3,000 girls with the game and distributed over 11,000 passports. We conducted a randomized control trial evaluation, which was led by our colleagues at ICRW, which tested whether the intervention had an impact on girls' perceptions, attitudes, intentions, and follow-up behaviors. So I'd like to share the key findings from our evaluation. Our results indicate that the intervention was well received and that it showed promising results in terms of shifting sexual and reproductive health attitudes, beliefs, norms, and behaviors among the girls who played the game and who received the passports. Girls were engaged with the game and they were asking facilitators questions, which was showing that they were having their curiosity sparked and were having opportunities to challenge myths and misconceptions they might have had. About 1 in 5 survey respondents used their passports to visit a health facility for information or services. And 45% of girls said that they intended to go to a facility but hadn't gone yet for reasons including school obligations or challenges with accessing facilities during the pandemic. But this reported intention to visit a facility shows that after the game, girls were feeling interested in and able to access facilities for the information or services. So this project has always been focused on learning and adaptation at every phase. But we found that there are many opportunities for expanding on and adapting the La Chance game to other contexts. There is definitely potential here for expanding to other audiences, such as other age groups of girls, out-of-school girls, and to boys as well. Many of the participants and the stakeholders shared their interest in having the game available to a broader audience, including for boys. To do this, the intervention will need to be adapted to the needs of each group. The structure and the foundation of the game and the solution set can remain the same, while the content of the game and the solutions can be changed to be specifically relevant for different audiences and contexts. So close coordination with ministries of health and education are definitely key to successful integration and scale up in any context. My apologies. So what we would say is that, we found that the game La Chance, games like this that are engaging and fun and participatory can complement, demand generation interventions and can work to connect youth with existing services and health facilities. Games like this that are engaging in this way and are interactive, they do have the real potential to motivate unmarried adolescent girls to seek out and act on accurate information about their sexual and reproductive health, and can support them in making informed and deliberate choices for their own reproductive futures. So thank you. I appreciate your attention, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.